in your life to come against what God has planned to keep you from fulfilling your purpose. He don't care about one person getting out. But if God can use that one person to set free multitudes, oh no, you are an assignment. You, sir, ma'am, are a target. And I don't care how you identify LGBTQIA or not. When you know God has called you and that He is with you, whether you are in church or not, you might not talk about it, but your spirit knows. And the devil knows you too. So knowing that my purpose is what was on the line, and that is what He wanted to keep out of the earth, He was pushing me to take my own life. And by the grace of God, I did not. So this now, stepping out of my comfort zone, stepping away from my fear because other people's lives are really what it's about. I'm bringing this now, and I'm here to say I truly believe that you can be gay, love God, be saved, and be used by Him. Now, there obviously are certain guidelines and parameters. You do not get to live your life any kind of way. Hear me. I am not teaching, endorsing, or in any way promoting a lascivious, loose, carefree, anything goes, perverted way of life. That is not at all what I am saying. So hear me and hear me clearly, because it is about your heart. I've been attracted to men since I was young. Very, very young. My first crush was on this kid when I was in the 2nd or 3rd grade, because there was 2. I've always been attracted to Caucasian men, please excuse me, whatever, and Latino men. I know that's a little shameless plug, but there is a very, very huge soft place in my heart for Latino men. But anyway, growing up in Ohio, there were multiple races and backgrounds, but 2nd or 3rd grade, I had a little crush. 4th grade, I had a crush. 6th grade, I had a crush. 8th grade, I got a boyfriend. So it's always been there, but I never really wanted it, to be honest, because my upbringing was that of being in church from a very young age. So like I said, I always had that awareness. But going through that, getting to where I was at the time of that prophecy, there was another lady that came in after that time frame. Never saw this woman before in my life, but our pastor brought her in, and in the course of her message, she said, I believe if you can be born with cancer, that you can be born gay. And it blew me away, because now, granted, at that time, I was married. I had at least 3 or 4 of our children. I was still in ministry, but in me, this fight was still raging and going on. And I was contemplating some things that I had not fully decided on at that time. Taking my life was not one of them anymore. But in the course of her message, the things that she said, I knew again that God was speaking to me. And at the end of that service, she prophesied to me, and I won't go into all of it, but the things that she said was, I know you. People think they know you, but I know you. And she talked about the glory of God being in my life. That prophecy from her and the one from my pastor were the things that God has used for the last, honest to God, 11 years to reshape, to break down, to remold, to restructure, to rewire who I am, without removing the power, the wisdom, the anointing, the flow, and the understanding. what I went through was actually equipping me for my purpose. And I thought my world was ending. I thought God was trying to take my life. And I'm thinking, why are you taking so long? You're God. You don't need to have me suffering all this time. You don't need to have me going through all of this, almost trying to live life only to take me out later. But when he began to share with me the things that I am now going to start sharing with you all, it blew my mind. And then little by little, without asking, in some of the most random ways, because God can really do whatever he wants to do with whoever he wants to do it with, whenever he wants to do it, for whatever purpose he chooses. When he started expanding and explaining, it made sense. Now, it ain't easy. Everything ain't peaches. I don't get to live life any kind of way I want to. I don't get to sleep around. I don't get to, we ain't gonna go into all of that. I still am required to live right. I am still required to live righteous. I am still required, and it's not even a requirement. I want to. I love God. I want to serve God. I want to help people. I want to be a blessing. But being gay and being used by God is something I have never been taught. I don't have an example of someone who has gone before me and shown me the way to walk this out. And the people that I did share it with, they could not deny the anointing. They couldn't deny the word. They couldn't deny the wisdom, but they could not wrap their heads around, excuse my expression, God using a faggot, because that is what I was called. Now, you have been through and you've experienced whatever you have experienced, and I'm not saying it in a negative way, but when it's something that you are called, you know how it feels. So, sweetheart, I am here to tell you and to share. It is about your heart. Now, some people's hearts are wicked. Some people like darkness and wickedness, and they have no problem with sharing it, telling it, and being in it. Kudos. I ain't mad at nobody. I ain't judging nobody, okay? I'm here to talk to those who you know this is for you and you can relate. It is not going to be easy. Yes, it will be challenging, but patience and your heart will help you to get there. So starting from this point is where I will do more videos, and I will come back and begin to share more of what I believe God has shared with me to share